Hey everyone, and welcome to 2021's edition of Grio's Garage YouTube Live with Santa.
Santa is here. He's in the house.
How are you feeling generous today, Santa?
I am feeling really generous. I think we should give the whole store away.
Okay.
But you being a Grinch, that's probably not going to happen. However, I have a few things in my bag that you don't know about that I'd like to give away.
All right. Well, you control the purse strings ultimately, and I still answer to you. So I am your elf, your dedicated servant for as long as you will have me.
You know what? When I was rocking you like a baby, I never thought you'd grow up to be an elf.
All right. Or competent in any way, probably.
No,
all right.
That's for sure.
Well, if this is your first time with us here, first of all, we want to know that, so let us know in the comments. But this is a pretty fun session for us. We pretty much open up the floor so you can ask Richard absolutely anything. If you have a detailed question that you just need answered, I can also help with that. But the goal here is for us to give some stuff away. So we want to hear your best Grio's Garage story, your favorite holiday tradition, your best Christmas joke. We are really going to be giving stuff away based upon if you're making us think, if you're making us smile. But really, you have access to Santa Claus here.
Yes.
And is endless generosity and also your deep well of knowledge in running a business, raising a family, and whatever else you know.
And making it to this far in life.
Yeah, so again, Merry Christmas from everyone
Christmas.
here at the Grio's Garage family. I think Hanukkah's already over, but happy holidays if there's anything else you're celebrating. Hopefully you are going to get together with your family, have a more normal Christmas, maybe a more traditional one.
I'm kind of hoping for that this year. As you know, I have 5 grandchildren now, and I'm not sure what the house is going to look like when you guys are, all throwing food around and that sort of thing.
I think it's going to be an absolute zoo, probably akin to some of our favorite Christmas movies. So, once again, if this is your first time here, let us know in the comments. You're probably going to get something. We'll try and get something. We're going to give away some prizes that are Grio's Garage products, some pretty special stuff, but also you're going to get a Christmas card signed by Santa and his elf, myself.
Yes.
So we're going to make sure that we know, or we love you.
And I sign just about anything. In fact, most of the gifts are worth more if I don't sign it. So, anyway, your choice.
All right. Well, once again, if this is your first time here, we'd love for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We do these lives once a month. They generally have detailing focuses, so you can ask us specific questions about them. We get to bring Richard in anytime you really want him. He clamors for this opportunity.
Not really, but, I only do this because I love our customers.
Yeah, it's a great
And I got a
way
new suit this year. And Santa has trimmed down a bit. As you'll notice, the belt is, not fitting as tight as it used to.
It's very good. Those chimneys are
getting
quite
smaller.
Brutal. Yeah.
And gosh, the natural gas in the chimneys really. I mean, you got natural gas these days. It's not like the old days where you just slide down the chimney and just, hit the fire and kind of pray that your suit didn't ignite.
Yeah, when you walked 15 miles both ways to school, right?
Well, yeah. But, Santa doesn't eat bean burritos anymore, just in case something happens.
All right, so while we dive deep into different topics, you'll hear a lot more of this banter, I'm sure. But you can ask us questions about father and son, anything about the Grio's Garage business, ask away. We're going to give away some stuff, and this should be a fun session. So, but it's been a whole year since we came back and talked to everybody. So we want to talk about how Grio's Garage has fared in 2021. And
yeah, look, I mean, we are stronger, a lot stronger than we were last year, and last year was a really good year. But, I want to be the first to apologize on things being out of stock. And as we all know, half of our stuff is sitting in the Long Beach harbor right now. But I think, overall, we've really worked hard to keep the back orders in check. some things just, I mean, they just didn't arrive. So we're not going to be the Grinch that ruins Christmas for anybody. So you just give our call center a call if anything, doesn't feel right, or you don't think you're going to get something in time. This is the time of year where you love being a Griot's Garage customer, because we're going to take care of you. So
yeah, I think one of the coolest things that I noticed about you and your what you tell all of our employees as it gets to this time of year is the concept of the golden package.
The golden package.
And
yes.
how everybody strives to turn up their service, which is already at an extraordinarily high level, but we understand the stress of wanting things to arrive, and
yeah.
We're feeling it on our side too, in terms of, hey, we know we want to get you that stuff, so
yeah.
we're going to work our very hardest, and if everything we can control, we're going to control it.
Yeah, no, it's a Griot's Garage value, especially this time of year. So I promise we're going to deliver something, even if it's a bag of coal to you instead of a box of your GR3. We'll have something. So.
All right. Well, we've got some questions coming in. That's awesome. Santa has always had natural gas. Yeah, I grew up with this guy.
What? Are you kidding me? When you were a baby, you had literally the worst poopy diaper I've ever seen. And not only, I remember this one time where it had exploded out of your shorts, all down your leg, and I was sitting there trying not to throw up myself. So.
Well, we're off into the gutter real early on, so I hope you guys are enjoying it.
This is family night here.
Yeah, well,
what we talk about all the time.
So we're gonna start answering some questions, because I think that's probably what we need to do. But one of the questions, and we're on a 2-minute delay here with YouTube, but if you can guess Richard or my favorite Christmas or holiday movie, starting with Richard. You can't guess both of them. You got to guess Richard and me separately. We're going to start with that. If you guess it right, the first person in the chat that gets it right will get our first present.
Yeah.
All right.
Look what Scott writes. Does Richard own any Volkswagens?
Ooh. Scott Dayhoff asked, does Richard ask any Volkswagens? Santa, do you have any?
Well, my
wagons?
second car was a Volkswagen. I used to work on my mom's Volkswagen. She had a Bug. I actually painted that before I left for school. Used to do 360s when it rained in California, just for car control. And now, let's see, I have a 1977 Rabbit that might be on your brother's website, griosmotors.com. So,
well,
not that I really want to sell it, because I think I wanted to put a like a TDI engine in there. That's a topic for another discussion. We have my dad's old van that we just put a TDI in that. Gosh, that thing is it was really slow, and now it's scary fast. Now we have to upgrade the brakes or something.
So that was a 1989 Volkswagen Westfalia Synchro, and I grew up camping in that van, and the valve train kind of blew up after it was parked for a couple months.
I'm going to guess that you blew the valve train up, just because he does that a lot. It's got like a rod knock or something, and he goes, "Dad, can you test drive this thing just to see if there's something wrong with the engine?" And I have at least, 3 times you've done that to me? And I have blown up 3 motors because of him, the elf, right there.
Yeah, well, I was at least, able to sense that something was wrong. You doubted me, and then of course killed it. But that Synchro, again, it's a family vehicle. Now it has power.
Yeah.
And that Griot's Motors just completed that swap, so we're going to use that to go camping.
Well, funny you say that, because I am taking my dad out for a New Year's jaunt around the Olympic Peninsula. So, Dad, if you're listening, I do have 2 hotel rooms, so we don't have to sleep in the van together, because that'd be a little too cozy. But we're going to shake it down on that trip, and that'll be fun.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
okay.
And then we're like R32 nutcases. So yeah, we have plenty of Volkswagens.
Yeah, I definitely love Volkswagens. The R32, that was my car. I drove across the country to go to college and back. But we've got some questions or some answers coming in to our first question. What is Richard's favorite Christmas movie? So I think the first one I saw.
Well, Christmas Vacation.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's mine. I mean, that is the story of our life. I am definitely Clark Griswold, and the chaos that goes on in our house is exactly like that.
Well, Tug R is the first person to answer that correctly as it relates to Richard. I haven't seen somebody guess my favorite movie yet, so what are we going to give him, Santa? We've got some USAG tools to give away.
Yes,
we've got.
Let's put the scissors on there.
All right, so Tug R, you are going to get a pair of Richard's favorite scissors, the all-purpose USAG scissors.
If you guys haven't purchased the scissors, because now I have to sell something because I just gave away something, so hopefully one of you guys will purchase the scissors, but they are really the best scissors. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I've cut through some crazy stuff with them.
Yeah. So, but we have a set of 3 scissors that I've been asking you to put as a set and discount for a while, but, you know, he's a little hard-headed every once in a while. But buy the scissors. Buy every USAG scissor that is in there because you will absolutely love it.
Yeah.
So, okay. So we're giving away a pair, but I really need a couple more of you to buy some scissors.
Nick, we've got a few guesses for Home Alone as your favorite Christmas movie.
No, that's not it.
Right,
I see it. Somebody guessed it. So Douglas Thurell, it's Jingle All the Way. That is my very favorite Christmas movie. And sure, I'll get some weird looks for that. But I just absolutely think that Arnold and Phil Hartman are in their element. Like, Phil Hartman is like the least likable bad guy in that movie, and he gets what's coming to him, but obviously he passed away. But I for some reason, that one it's
Jingle All the Way.
It's not a good movie, but I mean,
we haven't watched Jingle All the Way in like 20 years.
Actually, I forced you to watch it a couple of years ago. So
you did? All right.
Yeah,
that would
it's
explain.
got Arnold, man.
Yeah.
Arnold is, you tell me 80s action star in family Christmas movie. I mean, the only other equivalent is Die Hard, and I don't want to get in that debate, but I really enjoy that one as well. So
I remember running into Arnold.
So Douglas Thurell, you are the second winner, and I am going to give you a Comba Drive. So an USAG Comba Drive, which is...
There's another tool that everybody should be buying.
Now, they're absolute... Well, we sell quite a bit of them, so...
Okay, so maybe you don't need to buy them. But if you did want to buy something for a Christmas present for your dad or wife or whatever, significant other, that makes a good present.
All right, so if we called your name out, you've got to email social@griosgarage.com. We are keeping track of who we're giving gifts away to, correct?
We will be, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So be patient.
Yeah,
we got some questions coming in too.
Good.
So we gave away 2 things. The next thing we're going to have people guess, is our favorite Christmas tradition. And I think we should.
Yes.
I think we should limit it to Grio's Garage tradition. Do you have a strong enough tradition there that these guys could guess?
Wow. Probably not, unless they worked here.
Well, I mean, but you could share it, right? And they could guess it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I could share. Well, if I share it, then how are they going to? They already know. They're not going to guess it.
Okay. Well, they're going to guess it. So your goal is to guess Richard's favorite Grio's Garage Christmas tradition. We're going to see what you guys come up with. And then we will talk about our favorite
I'll just tell
traditions.
them because we've got other stuff, right?
All right.
We're going to be giving away stuff anyway.
Okay. All right. Well,
My favorite Christmas tradition at Grio's Garage.
yeah.
So, you ready? We get everybody in one room, and we get everybody in another room, back at Indy where we actually make the stuff. And we have that elephant gift exchange. And it is just hilarious. You cannot believe it. It's almost comes to, like fist fights. And if I'm not there, if Santa's not there, that's the other thing. I also dress up in this outfit, and I literally lose 25 pounds walking around the whole day. But I think that's one of my favorite traditions here. Now, with COVID and everything, That's kind of put a dampener on some of the gift exchange stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's just hilarious because Santa wraps up all the bad samples that we had coming in, things that didn't quite make the catalog that are really crappy gifts. And then sometimes we sneak in like a $200 gas card, which is a full brawl. But that occurs here, and back at Indy, they have their own. And it's just a wonderful, time of year to be doing this.
All right, we got somebody that guessed it before the 2 minutes are up. So I'm guessing that we got to give James Sandage something out of our gift list. What do you feel like? Should we give him some of our new products?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you got there?
Well, I've got, let's see.
How about ceramic glass cleaner?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so James Sandage, you are another winner. You are going to get our brand new ceramic glass cleaner.
Yeah.
So we're on
regularly track. Like $39.99 on sale for like what, $6.95 now?
Don't quote him.
Well, that's what everybody.
That's
what all of our competitors do. They go, "Hey, glass cleaner for $50," and then they sell it for $5.99.
Yeah.
Right. So
yeah.
I won't name names.
Oh man, very very traditional or very honest marketing. Right?
Yes, very honest marketing.
Yeah, we're
just like, yeah, you really should be buying that glass cleaner for that amount.
Man, we've got a couple people that know that we like bourbon, so
yes,
we're gonna have to have some guesses about that too.
Scott wants some bourbon shots. Scott, we just talked about your Volkswagens for literally an hour, and it's just going to drag on if we start drinking. So
all right. Well,
we're actually not drinking. We were drinking last year, were we not?
I don't think the the HR was too stoked about the concept of us drinking high proof bourbon on live.
Yeah, that
broadcasts.
would be a little weird for me to actually own the business and then go into HR and not say anything. All right.
All right. So how about that? We'll give away, if you can guess Richard's favorite bourbon or my favorite bourbon. We're just going to do. We'll let the guesses come through. We'll give you something as well.
Trust me, we have 100 favorite bourbons. Just pick one and you'll win something.
Yeah.
All right.
None of that low end stuff. Even though, well, you'll catch me drinking.
Well, the wild turkey in Christmas Vacation.
Oh yeah.
Was, that got him in trouble.
Okay.
Or
so
was it his daughter? Okay. All right. What's next?
All right. So Michelle B is saying it's her first time catching the show live. She's looking forward to the banter and learning some new tips. If using foaming surface prep, do you recommend an IPA treatment prior to ceramic 3-in-1? Michelle, foaming surface prep is actually an alkaline cleaner that will have no protective elements. That would be a perfect way to prep your car ahead of applying ceramic 3-in-1 wax or any of our waxing products in particular. If you rinse it well enough, you should have a very neutral, if not grabby surface that will help adhesion of the ceramic 3-in-1 wax. So it's a great question, Michelle B. Look for more products related to those type of preparatory steps in 2022.
Richard, someone was wondering if you are a beast with the polisher.
We invented the polisher. No, I think it's been since I want to say 1992 or 3 that we started, pitching the orbital polisher. Now, back then, no one wanted to touch their car with a machine unless you were a painter and trying to grind down, all the orange peel. So it's been a long road. I would think like 15 years ago, the light finally turned on for everybody that wasn't a Grio's Garage customer. So yeah, we've been at this for quite a while. I've been polishing a lot of cars for many years. Thank goodness I had 4 kids, and now they do it. So
yeah,
actually, I still do it. We did that Jeep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that white Jeep. I spent all weekend doing that back to perfection. That was a XJ with 59,000 miles on it, and actually, that Jeep came out perfect. So, anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, it was one of the things you taught me as a teenager, which allowed me to get out from your warehouse wages and go start my own detailing business.
Yeah, that was a sad day. I mean, you never want to educate your children to be smarter than you. Otherwise, you run into real hard problems.
Okay, so we've got a lot of bourbon guesses coming through. We've got to scroll up in the chat a little bit because I saw somebody
Johnny Walker,
say it
Black
pretty
Label, I saw
early.
that.
Richard, people think that you can drink if you want to.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. They're
Well,
overruling HR.
There's some whiskey back in the my office.
Yeah.
I don't know how that got there. I get a lot of gifts from people this time of year.
Maybe the elf will have to sneak
Elijah
in there.
Craig. Yeah.
So
Four Roses, Pappy
Kevin
Van
Holtgren,
Winkle.
I think that's the one, right? Right there.
I don't. Blanton's.
Yeah.
That'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Kevin. What do we want to give Kevin for guessing our favorite bourbon? Because that's easily
about-
top 5 for me.
What about the bourbon glasses that were a little overstock on?
We
last
don't
year?
have any of those anymore,
Oh,
unfortunately.
well, that's good. All right.
How about the ceramic family kit?
Well, that's a little rich.
All right. Well, Kevin, I'm gonna say
How many kits do people have to buy to cover that one?
I don't know. All
right.
But
Get
I
your
thought
wallets
we're in
out, guys.
We're in
Make
the
us,
spirit of giving, right?
Okay. Yes, we are.
Okay.
I keep forgetting that.
Okay,
yes,
so
it's
Kevin,
Christmas.
yeah, we are giving this away. Kevin Holtgren, you guessed Blanton's Bourbon. You
right.
are the winner of a ceramic family kit, and I mean, there's a ton of
I know. Rare
of
Eagle,
whiskeys that we're definitely
Kentucky
fans
Straight,
of.
yeah.
Whistle Pig, one of my very favorites. That's a rye, not a bourbon, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
Let's see, the Weller 12
Henry
from Oral
McKenna.
W.
That's another one of my
Henry
favorites.
McKenna 10. Let's see, Eagle Rare, excellence.
Yeah.
Anything Buffalo Trace will get me.
Fireball. Who makes Fireball? That sounds a little.
Fireball's what I used to drink before I'd go to football games, and you'd not want to sit by me. So,
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So that's a no.
Yeah, probably not Fireball. Yeah. All right. We do have one other specific announcement since you're
Yes.
encouraging people to take out their wallets here.
Right.
So Christmas is around the corner, and
Right.
the last day for ground shipping, if you're ordering from Grio's Garage, is this Friday. We've got a special promotion for anybody watching here. It's 10% off your entire order. The code is Final Hour. So if you're still procrastinating and you want to ship ground, Friday is the very last day. Use the code Final Hour for 10% off your entire order. And no, we didn't ask for your approval on that discount.
I see that because I probably would have given them 30% off. Anyway, Final Hour, 10% off.
Yep.
That's our final offer.
All right. Very
unless
good.
Unless I, do something else.
Yeah, we've got some international folks from Argentina
Yes.
asking when do we get the machines in 220 volt. Well, without making any specific promises, one of the brilliant aspects of our design with the detachable cord is the ability to shift that cord for specific countries, and we will be able to shift the voltage output of our tools as well. Now, there are no promises being made about when that can occur, but we definitely thought about that in 2019 when we redesigned all of our
Yes.
orbitals. So it's coming, and be patient with us. We are going to continue to work, right? We're growing, so
Yeah.
it's really where do we go next?
We are out to dominate the orbital market worldwide.
Yeah.
So,
All right, Chris Christensen. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, we had a great question here from Todd is the Man. Richard, he wants to know, what's the biggest challenge you've had to overcome in the 30 years of owning Grio's Garage?
well, I remember when I went profitable, and I got all my managers in my office, and I was down to my last $17,500. And I said, if we blow, I might tear up here because it was pretty emotional because I was either going to lose the company or we were going to turn the corner. And so I held up the check and I said, this is all I have. And it's going in the bank today. If we burn through this, we're all going to be out of a job. And after that, I don't know, we just got blessed by an angel somewhere, Christmas angel, and things started, to turn around. And that was probably, 27 years ago. So we've been at this for 31 years. But, you know, running a business is about the toughest thing you can possibly do. So you better do something you love. And I can tell you, Nick and I absolutely love what we do, and we think that you know, creating products and doing all the back-end work and stuff, it's not work. It actually is fun. So, but yeah, I'm only as good as my last catalog drop, is what I used to tell myself. Now it's a little different with products on the retail shelf everywhere. But yeah, it's terrifying on one hand, but really fun on the other. So
who was that? Do you want to give that guy
yes,
a prize?
definitely.
It was Tim is the man, right? Huh? Todd is the man.
Todd
Okay.
is the man.
What does Todd the man get from you? That was a good question.
Well, he almost made me tear up and cry, so that better be something pretty good. The compact sit-on creeper. Have you guys seen that? If not, you ought to like two.
Compact sit-on creeper 2.
Yes, which has got the pull-off seat that acts as a tiny creeper where you can sit on with your knees or your rear end, and maybe not my rear end, but
So
you know.
Todd is the man. Is getting a compact sit-on creeper 2.
Okay.
All right.
So
That's a pretty big gift, Santa. It's
watch this. Here, you want to just pull out the bottom? Check that out. Is that not cool? So you can use this for all sorts of stuff. And someone said I was a great salesman, like, I don't know, about 10 minutes ago.
Consummate
so
salesman.
not only that, but you can upgrade your old Series 1, or whatever we're calling that, version 1, to this system with the new I don't know, cup
Mini
holders
creeper,
and that
the
sort
new
of thing.
trays. So we've got a Gen 1 retrofit kit. So if you already own one of our compact sit-on creepers, actually raise your hand, tell us you own a Gen 1 creeper, and give us a good holiday joke, and we'll send you a Gen 1 retrofit kit.
That's a great idea.
Okay, but for now, Todd is the man. Great question.
Yeah.
I love hearing that story because it really is just kind of a galvanizing moment that you take for granted over the course of a business, right?
Yeah.
That businesses need money, they need confidence, and they sometimes need some desperation, right, as a motivator. But
Well, there's nothing like the fear of failure to succeed. And, you know, that's, I don't know, just being in business, it's so tenuous of success and failure. So we're lucky to have everybody that's on here obviously supports us, and you're our biggest fans. And, you know, just thank you. I mean, thank you for everything. And that's why we're still here today.
Yeah.
And especially the last couple of years, boy, that's been a little brutal too. But, you know, I just want to say thank you.
Well, it's cool that you're willing to put yourself out here and tell those stories, and I think that's why everybody's excited to come hang out with Santa, let alone you giving them free stuff. But
well, I like giving away free stuff.
At the end of the day, you know, a business is nothing without customers, and I think we understand that you guys are the most important aspect of what we do. We design products, and you've always designed products for things that you've needed, right, to make your life easier, to allow you to enjoy the free time you have in the garage around what you love, which is automobiles. And we have enough of you on the other side that truly believe that as well, very clearly. So
I think we all have problems.
Yeah.
Us and you guys.
Yeah, we're all a little bit, we got some screws loose, right? Not everybody understands a car person, but we sure do. And we really appreciate you all.
Look at that. What's your favorite Christmas memory as a child? Yeah.
From Lead Dog. I know that gentleman. I met him in Amelia Island a few years ago. So we'll be down there again in March.
Well, I was 10 years old, I think. Is it 10 or 11 where you got your...
BB gun?
Yeah.
At 10?
I think it's 10.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I was 10 years old, wanted a BB gun in the worst way. And gosh, I was looking everywhere under the tree. I thought it'd be a long, skinny box and that sort of thing. And then I started to really believe in Santa. 10 years old, still, you know, I mean, he was my hero. So we went through all the gifts. No BB gun. And my dad said, you know what, I think I heard Santa like trip over something and throw something underneath this table. And so I looked under the table, sure enough, there was the BB gun. I went apeshit. And you want to see those videos of little kids like zinging all around the room, you know, with 8 pounds of sugar in their britches. And so after that, I think I shot up everything. And my sister, she made these beautiful Christmas ornaments, and it was a little wind chime. I blew that thing to smithereens. And she still will probably, you know, she hates me for that because I'm sure she spent a lot of time on that. But I had that thing just blown apart in like 5 shots. Anyway, so yeah, and then we carry on the tradition. You know, if you're 10 years old, you know, you get a BB gun to shoot your eye out around our house.
Yeah. I definitely destroyed some things. Before it passes in the chat, I've seen Tim Harper be very active. He's a first responder from Texas, if I am correct in this scrolling. He has a Gen 1 creeper. He's been repeating this joke quite frequently, so we're going to have to repeat it. But I think combination of having a Gen 1, being a first responder, which we really appreciate here at Griot's Garage.
We do.
We're working to incorporate first responder and military discounts into our e-commerce platform. If you're local to Tacoma, we have discounts for first responders and military veterans at our store. So we do really appreciate you. So Tim, I'm going to suggest that you're going to get the Gen 1 retrofit kit. Thank you for what you do. And his joke was, how do you wash your hands over the holiday?
I'm not even sure if I wash my hands over the holiday.
With sanitizer.
Sanitizer, that's awesome.
All right, you got to chuckle, Tim. That's good. You're going to get a Gen 1 retrofit kit. It looks like there's a ton of people with Gen 1 creepers. We know that because we've sold a ton of them.
Yes, we have.
We're going to give you that retrofit kit, so be sure to email social@griotsgarage.com, and we will keep track of your name as well.
We've got a good question from Nelson Rodriguez, and I like this one because I know the backstory already. But Richard, how did you encourage your kids to be part of the business?
Boy, so I didn't encourage my kids to be part of the business. I was always in the garage with them. We were always working on cars, pulling engines, all my boys, and including my daughter. Well, she didn't pull an engine, but she had to learn to drive a stick shift. And I didn't, you know, I mean, Griot's Garage was my business, and I didn't want to encumber anybody, you know, in my passion. And so I was encouraging you to do other stuff. And you worked for CBRE in the real estate department there, industrial real estate, leasing and selling. And you worked there for 4 years. And he finally comes into my office and he goes, Dad, you know what my passion is? And I said, well, yes. I said, how's that real estate? I mean, I was just totally deflecting him. You know, how's that real estate business going? He goes, well, you know, I'm getting screwed over on my commissions. I was, you know, out there. I wasn't really raised the way you raised me, the way I've been treated. I said, well, you know, welcome to life, pal. There's your MBA. You don't even have to go to school for that. And then he said, well, I mean, but you know what my passion is? I said, well, it's probably cars. You've been around cars since you could walk. I tried to run you over with that Formula Junior that I was working on in the garage. That didn't work. I tried to get rid of him about 3 or 4 times at least. And he finally just said, well, my passion is cars. I'm coming to work for you, so make a spot for me. And on one hand, I thought, oh my gosh, now I'm going to have to work until like I'm 90. And on the other hand, it was really something that was very special. We get along great, as you all know. Maybe you don't know that, but and Nick absolutely loves what he does. And you've created some insane products recently, and to the point where they just kind of push me away, right? They don't even want me around. I'm just here to, you know, make sure he doesn't get it down to the last $17,000 anymore. But yeah, I think I didn't encourage them to come into the business. They wanted to come into the business, and my other son Philip is the same way with Griot's Motors. And if you are just pounding on your child for them to do something that they might not have the passion for, that's the wrong way to go. But, you know, cars are fun, and just doing this is fun. Doing it with you is hilarious.
Yeah, I love it. I'm so happy to do it. And I mean, you know, I think everybody goes to the job or to their work or job and has bad days, and it's no different. The nice thing is that you can't really get rid of me unless you kill me.
Well,
So we have to get back on track. And I think the thing that we always talk about that grounds me and grounds us when we have discussions that maybe we're not on the same side of is we sell car wax. We sell something that brings people joy, that allows them to take care of stuff that they care about. And if we lose perspective of that, then, you know, we've lost the message completely. You guys are going to know that first. So,
look, I mean, we're I don't know, we show up at racing events. We show up at Concours events. We show up where you guys show up. And I would never want to be dishonest or cheat, I mean, anybody, because you'll just probably come up and just go, Richard, you are, you know, you're a fake. And,
no, I mean,
and so
you don't go to sleep at night. You're searching eBay for semi-trucks and all sorts of weird crap. And then I get like 6 text messages at 5:30 when my infant's waking up, and I'm like, oh God, here's a Corvette ZR1, here's a Citroen, whatever. Like, this guy
I have issues.
is a little bit of a lunatic, but we share it. And
Yeah.
we share it with you guys. So, again, if you're just tuning in, we're giving stuff away. We want to see your best holiday jokes. We want to hear your best questions. You have all access to Richard Grio, our founder, so you can ask him about business, life. We have a lot of detailing questions. In general, we do detailing lives where we answer a lot of those questions, but this is more about saying thank you to you guys, letting you get to know us a little better, and really you've got an open floor. If you also missed our promo code, Friday is the last day for ground shipping. We're giving you all 10% off on any orders placed between now and then. I can't remember the promotional code.
Final hour.
Final hour. So you can still go to
That's why you need me
griosgarage.com.
still. You can't just shuffle me out.
You know, we work well together, I would say that. We have complementary skills. So, Santa drives the sleigh, I bust my ass and make the toys, right? So that's how it should be. So we can't forget, Lead Dog was the one that asked about Richard's favorite Christmas story. I think we better send him something. So what do we want to send Lead Dog? I know he's a detailer. Should we get him the ceramic family kit or ceramic glass cleaner, the newest product? Maybe he may not have that. I know he lives in Florida, so he's going to have something.
He probably needs the ceramic something down there.
Okay, you pick, Tanner.
Yeah, no, the ceramic kit.
Okay, ceramic family kit for Lead Dog. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll see you down in Amelia.
So we've got a couple similar.
Yeah, we've got some breaking news for Amelia that we will be sharing with you very soon.
Yes.
We have
Not
a couple
yet.
similar questions here. People are asking about what's the best seller and what is the company that put Grio's Garage on the map?
What's the product that put Grio's Garage on the map? Well, gosh, a ton of them. I think, Speed Shine has been the most enduring product, right? And that was just invented on a fluke. Just like mixing some stuff in bottles. But when you've been around cars, you kind of know what the finish you want to say, so it's a little easier, I think, for Nick and I to develop products. But I think Speed Shine was, the very first polishes that we had that were water-based, that, were made for, orbitals back then. And gosh, Best of Show wax, that's kind of been eclipsed over the years, but gosh, the Best of Show wax was in the line for 20 some odd years.
Still is.
Yeah.
Still sells very well and performs very well, but I would argue that it's the the combination of the random orbital polishing system that you developed in the early 90s, and it set us on a trajectory where we've evolved that platform so much and really been able to appeal to both end consumers that are learning that skill set, empowering themselves to finish their paint to a level of perfection. Or your padded creeper, you got in trouble for that. Or a lot of guys, there was a good story, you got to tell that story about when you sold the padded creeper.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So up until then, all creepers were, made out of wood with steel casters, and you couldn't roll them. You try to get off of them.
This is a lay-down creeper.
Yeah, lay-down creeper.
For underbody work.
And when you try to, shuffle it off one, it would like jump up and hit you in the back. That was always a pleasurable experience. So we lengthened the creeper to 46 inches, so it was actually, worth something. And then we padded it with a foam pad, so you weren't like sitting on splintered wood. And so this guy calls me. I think his last name was Johnson. Mr. Johnson, if you're out there still, this is like, we're going back 31 years because I just dropped the catalog. Mr. Johnson calls and he said, what kind of kitty cat from California, because that's where the business started, what kind of kitty cat, does everyone know what kitty cat means?
Yeah, let's keep going.
All right. So what kind of California kitty cat would produce a creeper with a padded, you must be the biggest kitty cat on the planet. I said, Mr. Johnson, it doesn't sound like you're having any fun in your garage. What's going on out there? And he, oh gosh, I had a half-hour conversation with him. I finally convinced him at the end of that. I said, look, if you don't like my padded creeper, and if you don't think it's the best thing you ever sat on and worked on and shuffled underneath a car, you send it back, and I'll double your money. And so, Mr. Johnson, I know you never sent it back. And I know you're probably you were a customer of mine for a long time, but yeah, that's probably one of my favorite stories.
I think that one's funny because he was probably taking a nap on a wood creeper, woke up and was like, "What the?"
I can tell you. Well, I can't really. Well, I don't know where those pictures are, but some customers were sending me pictures of stuff on creepers, and I'm not just saying like, squirrels on creepers. We're talking, things that you can't even show here. So I really have a fun job. I get to, see all sorts of stuff. And that was a big one.
Hey.
Anyway.
So we forgot to talk about this, but I think we've got to make mention of this because if you don't receive our catalogs, you can, the first time you buy something from us, you'll receive a catalog.
Yes.
You'll be on our mailing list.
Yeah.
But this year, when we talk about favorite traditions at Grio's Garage, this has quickly become my favorite tradition. And this, we live by the mantra, have fun in your garage.
Have fun in your garage.
And as I mentioned, kind of the centering feeling of we sell car wax. We don't take ourselves too seriously.
Yeah.
We don't want to sell you a joke. We're going to sell you stuff that works and that you're going to be happy using. But at the end of the day, have fun in your garage is really...
That's who we are and what we do and what we sell.
Yeah, so we took some pretty extreme liberties with our holiday catalogs this year. We were blessed to have the opportunity to go into a gentleman's car collection, and the creative juices just started flowing.
So my job is to embarrass my son as much as I can. He said he wanted to come to work here. So do we have some of the catalog pictures?
So let's,
okay.
there we go. All right.
So this is the North Pole one. That's actually a Ed Roth trike that was sitting over in the corner. And we had already shot the first one. And I thought, gosh, that would make a hell of a cover. And then the helmet for Easy Rider was in a glass case. And so I thought, well, what better way to embarrass my son by putting him in the elf outfit and then putting him on the back. And then I thought, gosh, this needs a cigar. And granted, I don't smoke. I've never smoked. And I'm not knocking smoking, I'm just saying I never smoked like cigars, or I never even inhaled. Not everybody can say that. Anyway.
One of our presidents said that.
Well, I'm not going there. But so we got out the cigar. I said, well, why don't you just get on the back of this thing and pretend you're having fun? And see that fake smile on the cover? He's just going, oh, God.
Yeah. What you can't see is that trike was not designed to have somebody ride on the back of it. Maybe
it was.
Maybe a male. We'll say that much.
Yeah. No, that trike is not designed for 2 males.
No.
You definitely need the opposite sex either in front or in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
quite uncomfortable, but the thing was just absolutely awesome. So
let's move on to the next cover.
But that just goes to show, like, we were just sitting there, like, what can we do? How ridiculous can we be? And then unfortunately, we weren't driving that trike at the North Pole, so we had our
that's
wonderful
totally made up
photographer.
unless you can't figure that out. That wasn't the North Pole. That was like some brass pole or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the next one, and so this is I think it's a, is it a?
It's a 1955. 1935. Just tell me what exactly the model, so I don't butcher. 1935 Ford Buffalo fire engine that this gentleman uses. He loads up all his grandchildren in it. He does a lot of charitable work with it. Takes it to parades. I mean, this guy is a car guy. So, and he's got some awesome, if not eclectic, things.
I absolutely loved his collection. All the stuff that was on the walls on display. Anyway, so we are going 95 miles an hour in this fire engine. I'm driving. Nick was stacking the presents on the back, and then he fell off, and he's hanging on with one hand. I can't slow this thing down in time. I'm reaching back to say, gosh, should I, if I let him go, then I'll have the whole entire company back to myself again. But if I don't grab him, then my grandson's gonna grow up without a daddy. So I rescued him. But that was another fun one.
Yeah, I really appreciate your consideration for my two kids. But that was a fun one as well. So if you guys like what we're doing on the covers, you just let us know, because we're having fun.
We're having fun.
And again,
we're going to continue that tradition.
We're talking to our marketing director and our photographer, and she's like, "Are you sure you want to do this? Like we're going to send this to a lot of people."
Yeah.
And
why not embarrass ourselves?
And I mean, I was sitting there with the two of you, and just like, I don't really have a say in this, but I gotta believe people will like it, and it just is a little too ridiculous, right? So
well, it's a call out to John, who set all that up and took the picture, and then just put the ridiculous background on it, and Sherry, who I didn't need to stuff the Santa suit back there, as you can see on the front cover. I'm a little fat, but I've got to squeeze myself into a Formula One car, so I have quit eating crap.
Hey, so yeah, we had some fun with our covers. Once again, if you like that, just know that the brain trust here at Grio's Garage has screws loose, and we're comfortable doing really stupid stuff. So, just to please you.
Yes, but you produce the very best products when you have a couple screws loose.
Yeah.
Just FYI.
All right. Well, we have one recurring question I need to address. It's a product-related one. We have a lot of comments about our ceramic all-in-one wax. That is one of the new products that we are absolutely ecstatic about.
Yep.
We had goaled to launch that on January 1st. We are having some difficulty procuring one of the ingredients for that, so that launch will be delayed. Unfortunately, and I'm not going to promise a date right now, because there's just a lot of uncertainty around it. But
it's worth waiting for, though.
It is one of the
unbelievable.
If you follow us on Instagram or Facebook. We recently did kind of a behind-the-scenes snapshot to our R&D, and that was over 55 formula iterations between the product development team that is based here and the R&D team, which is based in Indiana. So again, we take our in-house R&D very seriously. We don't bring anything to market until we're confident in its place in the echelon of car care products. It is by far and away the very best ceramic all-in-one concept product on the marketplace. you will absolutely love its correction capability and the protection it provides. So once again, we're unfortunately going to be a little bit delayed on bringing that to market, but I can see the excitement through the comments.
It's worth it, and I'm telling you, we are working overtime on a few other top secret products that you want me to blurt out, or
Nope,
should I
nope.
just? Okay, all right.
Let's see, we've got a lot of detailing specific questions. Once again, if this is your first time joining us, this is not our typical YouTube live. Usually we're polishing something, going through machine polishing steps. So definitely give us a subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram so you know the next time we do one of these things. We always do giveaways. We generally are very engaging in terms of answering your questions, showing you the right process. This isn't what we're going to really do today. Again, we have Richard here with us so that you can ask questions about Grio's Garage. We still have some more stuff to give away.
Yeah,
we have a couple really big presents, so we're going to have to find something that, outside of the great questions we've been getting asked this whole time, really something that warrants some of these big gifts, Santa.
Yeah, well, I like giving away stuff. And don't forget, your 10% off discount is final hour, and that expires on Friday, when we now have to go from ground shipping to 2 and 3 day air or next day air. So.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, if you have a detailing question that we don't get to today, feel free to send us a message on Instagram and Facebook, and we'll happily help you out there.
Yeah, and we'll probably keep them for the next live as well. So don't feel shy. If we see something that I can answer really quickly, I'll do it. But we did see one pop up a couple times, and it's from a gentleman named Cole Crawford. He said he's working on his senior project, and it is to organize a car meet to raise money. Do you have any advice on how to organize a car meet? Gosh, yeah, we have. In fact, I would like to offer you, Cole, to just email us, and I'll get on the phone with you and give you some tips about how to do it. I would say that charity car events are something that are near and dear to us.
Yeah.
We just had a toy drive with the local Avance crew here this past Saturday. We got
out the toy boxes.
We got nearly $10,000 in toys donated. So it's a great thing. People in the car community are more than willing to give. I know for us, we routinely contribute raffle prizes, samples, things of that nature in order to get you going and get some money coming in through a raffle. So we can definitely give you some tips. So Cole, I'm going to ask that you email social@griosgarage.com, ask for me specifically, and we'll get on the phone and chat.
Good.
We got a great question here, or not a question, but a comment that I want to acknowledge before I lose it. Kenneth Chandler said, I've been a customer since the mid-'80s and still have your cotton towels, but have since transitioned to your microfiber towels. They're just what the car enthusiast needs to maintain their cars. So, long-time customer.
Man, you know what, those cotton towels used to be used for nuclear power plants because they're lint-free, and I never used them on, him when he was a baby and blowing apart his drawers because they were too nice. I mean, they would have felt great, but, just probably, I probably would have just, we should have just stuffed that in the back of your diapers.
Oh, man.
That would have saved diapers.
At the risk of totally derailing this program, Neil White wants to know, what is your favorite model of Land Cruiser?
Oh boy, we're going to break out into a fight here. We have a lot of Land Cruisers.
Yeah, it's Sam's fault.
And my dad has a Land Cruiser now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the Land Cruiser count is, but it's high.
It might be as high as 5 now, 6,
Yeah.
7.
Yeah, we got some
Anyway.
cool ones too with
Yeah.
some stories. I mean, I don't know that there's a bad one.
We bought one
leaning
out of
towards
Costa Rica, and which is totally inappropriate for up in Washington because you need a heater. So if you're buying Costa Rican Land Cruisers that are old and cool, ask them if they have a heater in it, because you get it up here and I was going, well, where the hell is the heater? I mean, we need a heater up here. So that was my
That was a
my
diesel
aha
FJ45.
Yes,
Right, so that one's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
it is.
We have I was able to buy back my grandfather who has passed away, but
His Land Cruiser. Yeah.
I'm the third owner. So I used to ride around in the passenger seat of that 60 series. It's a 89 FJ62. It's got 250,000 miles on it, and I bought it back from the guy you sold it to in the mid-90s.
Yeah. Well, and I sold it to him with like 35 or 45,000 miles. And I called him up after your grandfather passed away. I said, hey, is there any way we could buy the Land Cruiser back? He goes, yeah, I think, we're just about done with it. So we get it back, and it's got 245,000 miles on it. It really didn't matter. It still runs like a top.
Yeah.
Drips like one drip of oil.
Yeah, it
That's
definitely
about
leaks. I think that's kind of a, if there's not oil under it, there's not oil in it kind of scenario. But I mean, the guys at Grio's Motors have resealed everything like 3 times, and it still leaks. But 250,000 miles. We flew down to Bend. We drove it one way home, 5 hours, and ran like a top.
Yeah. And with that car, you really have to like go 90 miles an hour to make the next hill like by 45 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So, and that doesn't include a headwind.
Yeah.
But
hey, Michael Dolphin is in the chat. Michael, how are you doing?
Merry Christmas, Michael.
Let's see. Where and how did you find Jeff Brown? Good God, we don't have enough time to talk about that one. But let's just say it was a dirty alleyway in Chile, and he was in rough shape. His beard was 3 feet long. We took him out into the street, opened up a fire hydrant, put some speed shine on him, and
we had to clean him up a bit.
Home.
Yeah.
On our backs.
Yeah,
in a Land Cruiser.
I take a lot of stray dogs in, and I've had like Jason. He arrived at my doorstep. He was just a little bitty boy like this. He was still wrapped in swaddling clothes, and I just rocked him back and forth. He's been with me for 25 and a half years, maybe 26 now. People come from all over the place because they really want to work for passionate people. And I say this, to everybody that's in this, chat room now. Is this a chat room?
I mean, it's a live event.
Yeah, it's a live event.
Chat, right?
I mean, if you're really kind of wondering what to do, and if you want to work around passionate people, we're the people to call, because it's going to be our world in the next, 20 years. On your clock, maybe
we got some
more.
time.
We got some time.
My young guys, maybe because all their toys are cars, but they seem to have an affinity for them. So we'll see how they turn out.
So Jason had twins. You have 2 boys.
Yeah.
We've got 2 other boys. We have 1 granddaughter. So we've got at least a call center now that's going to, be rolled over here. And
now we got to get some. You got to get somebody out there to turn the mixers on.
Yeah.
Pour the carnauba in.
Are you being stingy with the?
No, we
guests?
got we got some great questions still.
Okay.
Let's see. We have a couple more product questions. Again, it's great to see everybody coming back. We really appreciate you guys continuing to tune in. Let's see. There was we're trying to get one.
What's
from Chris Christensen? This is a good one. That's just kind of a good Grio's Garage insight story. Why are the headquarters and production so far away from each other?
Yeah, well, so we were going to put the production facility right in the same town.
At one time, they were both here.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, and we had to.
Early years, they were, it was all in one spot.
Right, and so then we asked UPS if we were actually going to save freight. If you actually look at a map of the United States, we're way up in here. Let me see if I can point to the corner. We're like way up here.
Southeast Alaska.
Most of the people live from like here over. And so we thought, well, to get people's products in their hands quicker, we should probably be located in the middle of the country. So Indianapolis, it's a great town, Indy 500. We're a little south of Indianapolis in a town called Plainfield. And so when we built that facility, that was 18 years ago, we just built it with the idea that we would be most productive getting the product in and out of the door in Indianapolis. And so, we go back there several times a year. We have other people, within the building that go back monthly.
Yeah. Pretty close. I mean, there's a lot of distance, but it's now a direct flight. So
yeah, it's a direct flight, which makes it really easy.
For us, it's great. We get to go there. We have a fully functioning lab and our full production facility. So My team goes out there probably 4 to 6 times a year
Yeah.
to work with our chemists, and that accelerates development on certain products. And it's just a great team, an incredibly hard-working group of folks, the without a doubt backbone of our operation.
That's awesome. We have a great facility. I think.
Well, we've got a lot of great people that work for us. I don't think there's one that we'd want to punt out the door.
No,
right?
Not at all, unless it was you.
Yeah, probably me.
But I think we're one of the few manufacturers that actually make their own car care products.
It's very unique.
And so that is our little ace in our hand, and we get to control the quality. And yeah.
Speaking of facilities, Nick in the chat here is wondering if they're going to get a flagship store on the East Coast.
Ooh, you better count your blessings. I don't think it's a secret that we intend to expand
Yes.
our retail operation the same way we have in Tacoma. It's just such a special place, and it's a cultural center as much as it is a headquarters and a store. So,
and it was kind of like creating the Field of Dreams when I did it over 10 years ago. It's really worth coming out to a Caffeine and Gasoline. The events that we have during the summertime, Caffeine and Gasoline, it's kind of hit or miss in some areas, but
yeah,
well, some months. But we are going to be starting up some F1 cars. Anyone hear like a Honda V12 next to their ear?
Yeah, I've had a couple people say keep up the weight loss so you can fit in that thing.
Don't
which
worry.
Is quite critical, right?
People want to see you drive the Senate car.
Yes, we are all over that. And this is just, I kind of like look a little fat, and my boobies are hanging out. But don't worry, I am going to get in that car, and we will post that on YouTube.
Okay.
So.
Well, let's see. Alton Hale.
Can I say boobies?
We're beyond that.
Okay. All right.
So let's see. Alton Hale is from Indiana, and I also see Fab Automotive Detailing, whose uncle runs our bottling line, our production facility.
Yes.
That's Todd's nephew.
Todd.
But Alton has been asking relentlessly about our top products, like what are our favorite products. So I think we got to give, for being from Indiana, knowing what Plainfield is, let's answer his question, and we'll give him a present, Santa.
I'll let you take the first swing on that.
Well, gosh, being involved in new product development, I have a lot of bias, because it's just like you saying you don't have a favorite child, even though you probably do.
Well, everybody knows who my favorite child is. It's my daughter.
All right. Well,
I had 3 boys, and then I had Sophie, and so she's my favorite. So
if this is going to be a probably surprising to Alton and maybe anybody else that's watching, but one of my all-time favorite products that we make is undercarriage spray. And the reason I like it is because it was such a finishing touch when I was doing detailing as a teenager, and that was the era of the SUV boom, right?
Yeah.
Where you're talking H2s, everybody's got a Tahoe, and all the wheel well liners were black plastic. Yeah. And so you had exposed frame rails on these SUVs, these black plastic wheel well liners that would just dull out and turn gray. And so I swear to God, I had more comments on people asking me what I did to their wheels and tires, when in reality it was what I was doing to their wheel wells to put focus on their wheels and tires. So
contrast.
That is totally a strange product, maybe, Alton, that you didn't think I'd indicate, but I love all of our products. I'm very proud of what the product development team, what our R&D team has created.
We like the next one.
Yeah, the next one is the best. But undercarriage spray is a surprisingly awesome product. Now, if you're running into these fabric wheel wells nowadays, doesn't help you that much. But it still can do wonders to, again, bring the focus back to your wheel and tire combo that you spent so much time cleaning.
Neil White's noticed my boobies. He's calling them moobies here.
Ah, moobies.
Yeah, moobies. Is that
Moobs.
Man boobs?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so Alton, what are we going to give Alton? We're going to give him, let's give Alton, we've given away a lot of ceramic family kits. So let's
give more
Alton,
ooze egg scissors. That's what people want for Christmas. And if you guys haven't purchased any ooze egg scissors, I strongly recommend You use that 10% code that says final hour, okay? 10% off. I promise you, you'll love them forever. People will try to steal them. So I buy like, a set a week because they just disappear.
Okay, so Alton, you're getting some scissors
Yes.
from Santa, apparently, and actually I know this, they're quite life-changing. They're
They
pretty
are.
damn good scissors.
They are.
Some of those USOG tools are excellent. So
In fact, right on that board
Yeah.
is the electrical
we
scissors.
got a couple sets of them there.
Yeah.
Okay, you got any?
Yeah, we've got a good one from S550 Johnny. He said, what product has been the toughest to create?
I think you're probably going to get two perspectives because modern product and long-time product. I mean, what?
Well, the toughest product to create is the polishing product, I think.
Yeah,
That's always been the case. It's our mantra is, first do no harm. And so, we want you to sneak up on that scratch or, swirl mark. Those are technically the hardest products to produce.
without a doubt.
But then we've got
and because
the whole
at the end of the day, what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
And we had somebody ask about why did the machine polish 1 through 4 go away? Well, it was because there was an advancement in
Huge advancement.
abrasive technology and quite frankly, our ability to formulate products with more advanced oil water emulsions while incorporating those abrasives. So I think the hardest products to make are ones with dual purposes, where you have to balance maybe a protective element with an abrasive element or a cleaning element with a protective element. So, for example, ceramic all-in-one, extremely difficult product to get right because if you have a quality abrasive that actually can remove defects, well, it's probably removing the protective element that you're also trying to lay down at the same time.
Yeah.
So striking that balance between dual purposes is very, very hard because not only do you have the emulsion in its balance and it being stable, but then you have the introduction of heat in different variables, different paint conditions. So those are really tough. Our ceramic wash and coat was another one. It's got to be slick enough and clean well enough to be usable as a wash, but it's also got a great protection package. So those are two that we've really, really worked hard to get right. And
I think orbitals are pretty hard to manufacture.
yeah, those are pretty intricate.
There's so many pieces to an orbital, and you're choosing between bearings, you're choosing between lubrication, you're choosing between the gear set.
Gear hardness, mesh.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we have plenty of challenges around here, and we seem to really not take.
It's what makes it fun. I'd say the most frustrating thing, is when you see these companies pop up and, on day one they've got 26 formulas and they're in the same bottle and have the same trigger as the other company that just started a week before, and you say, wow, you guys did some serious R&D work in a short amount of time. No, I have a pretty strong sense of how that came to be.
Yeah,
And,
it takes a lot of months and sometimes years to develop the right liquid. So
yeah, so doing
We're
it
on it,
right
though.
and putting in the work and taking the time is really, again, you've built this business over a long enough period of time that we now have that luxury.
Yeah.
The in-house manufacturing, the in-house R&D, we have enough customers and you guys to sell our crazy ideas to, and you keep validating them. So we've
got a lot to be thankful for, and it's really I thank all of you guys, because don't worry, the show's not ending because we haven't given the major product out yet.
Yeah,
But I
Donald
just wanna say
Taccone
thank you.
says, wanted to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and thank you for everything. Donald, Merry Christmas to
Yes.
you.
Merry Christmas. So, what else you got over there?
We have one from a while ago that I think is really good. We're going to go deep here. Speed and Shine TV wants to know, Richard, what is your hope for the legacy you leave on the car detailing world?
Wow. I never thought about leaving a legacy. It's just, I always thought about having friends as customers, and I think at the end of the day, that's probably what we'll be noted for. Is it's not just business, but it's a family, and it's a family that that we really respect, and we would never, want to be dishonest to our family, or do anything underhandedly. And I think that's our legacy, besides just doing some complete, crazy covers on there. I don't know. Yeah, my legacy, it's strive for perfection in everything you do. Take the best that exists and make it better. If it doesn't exist, create it, and accept nothing nearly right or good enough. I mean, that is how I've lived my life. That's the mantra of the business, and we're going to continue to invent the next best thing. It might not be the first one to the market, but I can guarantee you it will be the best one on the market. So, and here's a thank you to my extended family, which is everybody that's on here. Unless there's somebody from one of my competitors, like, sleuthing around in there, but anyway.
Yeah.
But I love you too.
Oh man. So we have a gentleman, Cesar Gradianu, who keeps asking about the Brilliant Finish foam cannon and juxtaposing it to a competitor, and we rarely do that. Disparage our competition. We're confident in where our products lie in the landscape of what they are measured, and in general, you can probably find on YouTube a comparison of the cannon you're asking about and our Brilliant Finish foam cannon. But the cool thing about both of our foam cannons is they're developed in-house by us, and we have different construction materials and patent pending technology that we've incorporated into both of them, and they definitely beat the tar out of the vast majority of them, and there's some good foam cannons out there. So, but I'm going to say, Cesar, we're going to give you a Brilliant Finish foam cannon, and all we're going to ask is review it, and review it honestly. Stack it up against what you think it should compete against, and I'm extremely confident that it will be better. So, Cesar, email social@griosgarage.com. We'll send you a Brilliant Finish foam cannon.
Yeah, we don't even have that on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, congratulations. I'm not even, is that in stock right now? Yeah, they're in stock right now. Yeah, okay, all right.
Okay.
Good.
We've had a lot of people asking what you guys' first cars were.
Oh boy, 1953 military M38A1 Jeep. Had 24 leaf springs. I think it was dropped out of a transport into Korea a few times, and that car probably saved my life, because when you're 14, 16 years old, I started working on it when I was 14. And it was slow enough so I didn't, wouldn't kill myself. And it was tough enough that I got it up on two wheels and got it airborne and literally airborne for what seemed like a second or two. One of my best friends, I had 3 guys in the car at the time. This cattle crossing, I knew we were going to get air. The guy in the back seat was screaming, "My body, my body, my body." That was Steve, my best friend growing up. He was crying like a baby. And we took that thing just airborne, and just, thank God, it came down on all 4 wheels. Yeah, but that thing saved my life, because if I was given something with a lot of horsepower, I probably would have wrapped it around a tree a couple times. So.
Yeah, it seems like you gave that mentality a lot of thought, because my first car was a 1979 Mercedes 300D station wagon, and it had the driver door kicked in and was missing some hubcaps.
I bought that car for $500.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
I mean, the amount varies, but it never really gets that high. I recall $375, but it was it was an awesome car for a first car.
And that belonged to Jimi Hendrix's mother.
That
was the cool thing.
That was never confirmed, but that was the rumor on the streets. And that's how I gained credibility in high school, by saying that, of course. But no, I mean, that was the non-turbo, right? So it was just so a diesel.
Slow. Yeah.
And it had 73 horsepower, rated 73 from the factory.
Yeah.
And by the time I was driving it, this is a 6,000-pound, well-engineered German
It's the
sled.
safest thing for you too.
It was definitely actually on the dangerous side of slow. Pulling out into traffic to do 35 miles an hour was terrifying exercise. And, I learned how to do body work on it. I did the brakes on that. I refinished my first set of wheels in there. It was my high school colors. I had to prop up the rear latch with a wooden dowel.
Yeah.
My stereo system got stolen out of it, so it was excellent. And we were driving, the alternator gave out. We replaced the alternator, and we were like, gosh, we probably should take this car to Mercedes because the tachometer's not registering.
This is one of the engine blow-up stories where, he had been probably just flooring the thing. That thing had two switches, either full on or full off. There was no feathering the throttle with that car.
Yeah.
And he said, gosh, Dad, it's making a weird noise. I said, well, it's probably just a diesel, they clank around and stuff. And he goes, yeah, but this one's a little different. So here I am. I'm driving it, down to Mercedes because I don't have time in the day to look at it. I just wanted them to do a compression check.
It's 6 miles from our house.
Yes. And all of a
But
sudden,
we had to get on the freeway.
all of a sudden it was like the Millennium Falcon, and it started shaking and stuff, and it blew the side of the block out in a 6-inch hole, and all this black oil, all I saw was like a flame coming up over the windshield. The windshield was just sprayed, so I don't know how it got from there, but it was just like I was driving in this I don't know.
You said it was like a World War II pilot.
Yeah, my whole plane got blown apart.
Yeah.
So, and this guy said he would follow me down to the Benz dealership, which he didn't. He was long gone. He had my phone with him. I couldn't call anybody. I had to jump over the fence on the freeway, get into the chicken place, ask them for a phone. Of course, I smell like crap by then. But yeah, so that was his first car.
Yeah, so it blew up and died a sad death, but it was a great car. We probably should have kept it because at 173,000 chassis miles, that's like nothing for those cars.
I know. That was a cool
yeah,
car.
it popped
but
up.
But it needed a LS7 under the hood, I think.
It was a little scary.
Yeah, just take.
We're having a lot of people asking about detailing classes. So if you are local to the Tacoma area, you can always come here, and we have a complimentary car care school. So you can bring your car in, and it's free. You just call and can reserve some time with one of our employees, and they will train you on everything you need to know.
I mean, who else does that?
Yeah, it's an excellent service. But if you are not local, you can check our national events schedule. Our events team will also we go out there to teach you and answer questions about our products. We have demo hoods out there so you can learn how to use the orbitals. It's a great way. And then really just any of our events that we do all over the country. We do, you can just sign up for our emails and you'll
do what, almost 30 events?
Oh, we do 30 events with our major event setup, but we probably do close to 125 if you wrap in our tech sessions with the BMW Club, with local detailing shops. So it's really a matter of signing up for our emails, checking our events list, because if you do sign up for our emails and you plug in your zip code, when we come to your area, we'll let you know via email, and so you can come meet somebody firsthand.
Look at that. I mean, there's someone's interested in ladies' night.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We could probably, that would sell out if we put Sam in there. Boy, he'd get all the ladies going on.
Yeah.
All right, so hang in there. We'll put Sam up as his sacrificial lamb. All righty.
We also post about those those detailing classes on Facebook as well. So if you're following us there, you should see them as they pop up.
All right.
Great. Thanks, Nick. All righty. What else we got?
So Tom Escover asked, Richard, do you have any racing plans for 2022?
Yeah.
F1, Can-Am?
Well, I got to say, the racing season kind of went out of fashion for 19 and 20 with the COVID stuff. And I got back into it this year, realized I was way too fat to drive a Formula One car, was really disappointed in myself because that's one of my pleasures in life, and just started losing weight. Went back to the same track probably 2 or 3 months later and shaved 7 seconds off with the 1974 March, which is the Jägermeister car. And the way you drive really fast is you take a shot of Jaeger before you get behind the wheel.
Oh my God.
And that really calms your nerves, by the way. And you can save at least 7 seconds off. But yeah, so 2022, yeah, Monterey for sure. Velocity again. I am, you know, or at least I did apply to, you know, the Monaco races. So hopefully the Vintage Series 2 weeks before the F1 race. So, you know, Monaco is kind of my goal this year. I mean, that would be fun to do.
So yes, vintage racing in the plans for 2022. Santa, just gotta monitor your milk and cookie intake this holiday season and stay on the fast track.
Well, we, you know, as you know, Nick's been, you know, driving some of my cars. He hasn't wrecked anything yet, so he gets to, you know, kind of go to the next one. But we are going to go to, you know, Road America with 2 Can-Am cars and reproduce the Bruce and Denny show. So be looking for that in the near future. Some pictures.
Elkhart Lake, July 2022. You heard it here first. We're going.
Yes, we are going. So come out and root for us.
But yeah, again, people are asking about specific events. Check our events calendar. You can always reach out to us through our contact center if you need event support, sponsorship, raffles. We do quite a bit of that. So yeah, we have a couple more things to give away.
Scott, Stevie's got a deeper voice. That is hilarious. That's not Stevie over there, just FYI. All right.
Okay, all right, you got some more?
Yep. Question from Neil White a while ago. He's wondering, what cars in 2022 are you most looking forward to seeing?
New cars?
Yeah, I think new cars.
Wow.
I don't like new cars.
Yeah, new cars are, we like old cars.
I mean,
we like breaking down by the side of the road and see if we can't fix it and get home. That's.
I would love to see a 2022 Bronco, but I have no idea when I'm going to.
We keep saying this every time that I'm here with a live chat. We go, Ford, where's our Broncos? We wanted 5. I just get the shaft from Ford all the time. I don't know why.
I reserved one the night that reservation was open, so I'm still waiting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably the only new car I really like. But obviously they've been plagued by all sorts of issues, and it's just been delayed.
Understandable.
So, yeah.
Days. But it's really sad to see, you know, that people just can't get the product out with people that are throwing cash at them. Yeah, like our ceramic all-in-one. You guys, I mean, you know, my line, this is a great line. When you go in and people are really giving you a hard time about trying to buy something, you just say this one simple line. Why are you making it so hard for me to give you my money? And that really just like knocks people out. So don't use that on us, because we are working overtime trying to get that product to market. But anyway.
You guys are going to like this one. Steve H. says, some say whiskey isn't the answer, but I say it's worth a shot.
Ha!
All right.
That's a good joke.
All right, let's send Steve something. How about some ceramic glass cleaner for Steve H?
Are we going back to the Vintage Grand Prix in Pittsburgh?
Oh, yes, we will
Probably.
be there.
Yeah.
We'll be there.
Okay.
Our East Coast team will be there. Corbin Vermey, I can't read it perfectly. He said, I've heard a rumor there used to be a Griot's Home product line.
Yes.
Can you elaborate?
Yeah, that was one of my brilliant ideas. So we thought our products work so well in the home, which they do.
They do.
And they're often stolen. You know, like my wife has the interior cleaner and the rug cleaner. She spills a lot of wine every once in a while.
Griot's Home.
Yeah. No,
So
but was that
how
nice
did-
to
how did
say?
it get
I hope she's not watching. Anyway, so yeah, so we made a catalog, and gosh, the response rate was just horrible, because who wants to get a catalog on cleaning products for your house? That sounds like a lot of work. Whereas the fun side is the garage side. And then you got the, gosh, I got to clean the dishes, I got to clean the carpet. I mean, that's work. But you polish your car, that's that's pretty fun.
I mean, look,
So,
the reality is there is enormous utility for our products
Yes.
in and around the home.
polish out the the garage, not the garage, the glass in your shower.
Yeah, a glass polish on the shower door. You can use our ceramic glass cleaner after you polished it to help that water run
Yeah.
off. One of the things that I'm going to really, you've heard it here first, but in our extensive product development and testing, Jeff Brown, I'm going to give him credit for this, has found that our ceramic 3-in-1 wax works excellent on porcelain and ceramic sinks. So that also applies to toilets, if you can believe it or not. So the ceramic 3-in-1 wax is a great way to maintain a little extra cleanliness. I can't guarantee it'll work on all stains and materials, but for the sinks in particular, it definitely is quite impressive.
Look, I'm going to try that on the toilet because, when you come over and paint the bowl, in the garage, and then leave, I'm the one that has to look at it and go, what the hell?
Well, we've come full circle. We started with poop jokes, we're ending with poop jokes. All right.
So,
Good God.
what's
We've got a lot of votes for a flagship store in Atlanta, so I think Nick could get behind that.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes.
That's where I went to college. I love that town. Very close to my heart. But
Yeah, I like Atlanta.
that's a little crazy too. So
There's so many great parts to this country. In fact, I'm going to be on the road, so if you guys want me to stop by your house, I'm going to be driving all over the country here pretty soon. If you want me to stop by your house, just send me a note and I'll come knocking on the door.
okay, this should garner a good discussion and/or rant. Nick asks, "What do you think about everything going electric?" Yeah, I'm not too excited.
I'm not too excited. It's just I don't.
I like the smell of gas. I like
Like-
the sound. I like the freedom of filling up the gas tank and going and taking
Yeah.
5 minutes. And
How are you going to drive from here to,
Timbuktu.
Yellowstone?
I'll-
I remember that trip that we took through Yellowstone. Someone asked, what was your favorite road trip?
Yeah.
My favorite road trip was, piling all the kids in the 1972 Suburban 3-door and taking them, to Yellowstone, to Glacier, to
yeah,
what
that was an
it?
excellent
Water-
trip.
yeah.
And
So-
the only problem was every time we stopped at a gas station, we got accosted by everybody and their mother who said, "I grew up in one of them Suburbans."
I
And,
know.
as you're trying to drive away, like,
Yeah,
good God,
and-
I got to get out of here.
And I said, well, would you like to take my 4 kids if you grew up with one of these? You can reenact your whole life all over again. I'll give you these 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, look, I think in general, there are electric cars have a long way to go, but there's definitely people that love them, and
yeah. Look,
they're
we're
just
not knocking electric cars.
no, I'm knocking electric cars. I think they're soulless tools, but they're
Okay, son, let me give you a little
their
advice. There
acceleration's
is paint on
impressive.
electric cars. You don't want to piss off everybody.
Well, I mean,
All right.
yes, but
Okay.
in general,
And glass.
I think that if you prefer electric, excellent. We live in a world now where you can have a reliable car that can get you to and from work without burning any gas. But if you live in the Midwest, you're just driving a coal car, so you better just realize that. But I prefer stinky, old, leaky cars.
Yeah, and you probably know this about me, but I do buy cars, and sometimes I buy cars when I shouldn't buy cars. In fact, I bought a Cadillac not too long ago, and I just like lowballed them, on eBay, just like, where you can put in your own bid, and I got it, and then I was telling my wife about that, and she goes, "Well, that's how you end up with a shitty Cadillac," and it was shitty. The guy that sold me that Cadillac is,
Shot the moon.
yeah, he did.
That was one where
it
you
was only
literally
13 grand, but still.
it came in. And you sent it away so fast, I didn't even get to see it
I know,
for about
I was-
a year.
I was a little
So,
embarrassed
Yeah,
about
that
it.
one
But
might have been a mistake.
Yeah, anyway.
But-
But what I like to do is I like to fly in, get in a car that I know nothing about to see if I can't drive it home and make it home. And I've done that trip with my boys on several occasions, and then I did it with my wife, and some reason I got unlucky. I'm not like complaining about my wife tonight. She's a doll.
Mrs. Claus.
But we were stuck in a Walmart parking lot with someone that was doing tricks in a RV next to us, and I had to rebuild the carburetor in the parking lot, and I was bleeding out and all sorts of wonderful. We didn't get home in that car. And that guy that I bought the car with, you ought to be ashamed of that, of yourself as well. So if you buy a car from Grio's Motors, which is your brother's business, you'll be more than satisfied. Not to put in a plug for him. But yes, put
Actually,
yourself
that's
on
probably true.
on
He'll
that.
probably buy it back. Right?
We would. So anyway.
Ken V's got an awesome comment here. He said, I'm restoring a 1980 C10 with my daughters. It's an awesome feeling. They're loving it. Memories are going to last forever on this build.
Best car ever.
You know
got
what?
all the parts available.
You know what, Ken V? I think that's probably, if you're restoring it with your daughters, and I'm not sure if that's the same Ken V we've seen before, but I'm going to suggest that one of the things, and we'll probably end the show on this, we're going to give you the G8 and G9 two-step ceramic kit so you can teach your daughters how to use an orbital polisher and tune up the paint on that C10. So be sure to email us at social@griosgarage.com. We'll take down your information too. But that to me is, I think,
awesome.
The most important thing, because as much as I loved cars from a very early age, just being around them as much as I was, I know that what kind of made it whole was my ability to detail and add value to cars, and then again walk away from working for you for peanuts and go work and start my own business as a teenager. And I had, cash to burn on my cars because I had the independence and I had a skill. So I think that's, what always speaks to me is I love the concept of father or mother, any parents teaching their kids something around cars, because that's what you did for me. And
well, it's the greatest gift
you're
can
worse
give
off
somebody.
for it now, but
Yeah.
at the same time.
But it is the greatest gift you can give to a child is for them to feel empowered and to know that if they lost everything or whatever, they could fall back on doing something. And so if you can teach your child to work with their hands and to create stuff, that's a wonderful gift you can give. It's the most important. And I had more tools at your disposal in my garage, and even though he would go through there and leave them lying around and oil this and that and put them away, just a little dirty, it was still okay with me. I mean, I'm going to finally admit to that, but
but all my friends too. I mean, I just think it's a wonderful, like, the car community. It's very welcoming. There's a lot of intergenerational love. You see cars that become heirlooms, and your daughters are never going to forget the time that they spend working on that truck with you. And
C10s are great for young drivers as well. You can see out of them. And my biggest pet peeve is you can't see out of modern cars now. That's why I don't want an electric car, because they're so dang swoopy that the windows are literally like this big. Last time I checked, my head was like this big. I gotta look out. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, hey, I had a couple people ask. I am not a yellow jacket. I'm not a rambling wreck from Georgia Tech. I did go to Emory. I thought I was going to be a doctor, so that's how stupid I was when I was 18. But yeah, I guess Doug DeMuro is also from Emory. So, and I guarantee he went there to be a doctor too, and he was like, oh God, I'm out of my league here. So two car guys that came out of Emory after it beat us down with extremely competitive pre-med classes. Who knows? But yeah, I actually think Doug DeMuro was an economics major just like me. So got out of there and found a career path in automobiles. But
Michael, that was a great story you told me over dinner about your mom getting a chance to ride in her 1964 Eldorado. That is an awesome story, awesome car. We've just got awesome people. I love what I do.
Yeah. Well, this has been pretty fun.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys like this. If you want to see Richard back, you can let us know. But anybody who was indicated for winning something, be sure to email us at social@griosgarage.com. And let's see, we have until Friday to get a Grio's Garage order placed for ground shipping, and we also have a promo code called Final Hour that is 10% off your entire order if you place it between now and Friday for ground shipping. So just a little Christmas bonus from us if you choose to give one of your loved ones a last-minute gift from Grio's Garage.
And don't forget, there's always gift certificates.
Yep.
If you're really, really hard up for something. All right. Well, thank you very much. We really appreciate your support. Merry Christmas.
We consider you all to be part of our family, so hopefully you enjoy this tradition with us every year.
Me too.
And
all righty.
have fun in your garage.
Have fun in your garage. Take care.